Good morning. Today is August 17th. I have no idea what week it is in the garden. I know I missed a couple weeks. I have to look at the old videos and figure that out. We've been really, really busy, and this weekend was the first weekend we could really put a lot of time into the garden and kind of like get back into it. And so there's a lot of stuff that's going on right now. I'm really excited to get back into trying to film these things again just to keep a record. Um, I tend to, put off the filming, but I do love having the record. So I'm trying to get better at that. But anyway, so yeah, today is August 7th. No clue what week it is as far as the garden, but let's take a look and see what's going on. Okay, so the first big thing that's happening is Andrew is putting in irrigation, which is super exciting. And so we won't have to water by hand anymore coming up here pretty soon. We are also taking into account the future beds that we're going to put in. So there's going to be another 16-foot bed here. There's going to be another two 8-foot beds to match the two back there. So there's going to be one right here and then one right here. And then back there, we're going to have 4 more 16-foot beds. You can see one of them is marked off with those flags back there. So we're going to have 4 more to kind of match all of this out. But that's really exciting. Here is a look at the garden. So it's definitely bigger. Things are slowing down just because it's been really hot. And we also have a ton of aphids everywhere on everything. And so I'm trying to put off spraying anything or putting anything on them just because I want the ladybugs to catch up. That was one thing we did last year with our old garden was we held off and then the ladybugs came and then we had a ton of ladybugs, which was great. So I'm trying to establish that here, but you're gonna see a lot of aphids today. But anyway, we finally got all of our tomatoes trellised up. Some of them were a little crazy because they had just gone too long, so they're just kind of hanging up out there. It's a little wild in there, but that's what's happening. We've been getting a lot of okra, which has been really cool. And we've gotten a few cucumbers, so the okra plants are doing pretty well. This, I think this is a pumpkin, but I'm not quite sure. I did a lot of just trimming off a bunch of, dead and diseased leaves and stuff like that yesterday. I was out here for about 2 hours just kind of cleaning everything up and hoping that it would help. Gosh, this, you see the big old bee. I don't know if you can see it, but this sunlight on here is just so pretty. Look at that zinnia. This is a Moulin Rouge zinnia. I'm obsessed. One thing I definitely miss is having zinnias everywhere, which we had in our old garden, so I'm definitely going to be doing that more next year when we have more of our spots. This here is an Armenian cucumber, or melon, technically, and we've actually gotten cucumbers off it, and they haven't been bitter, which has been really awesome, and so we've been able to eat them. And so definitely growing more of that next year. I'm going to practice pickling them and see how that tastes, but it's been really exciting. We had it in a couple salads. The eggplants are starting to come in, so all the plants have eggplants on them. Peppers are all kind of small still, but they're starting to fruit for the most part. There's another eggplant. Gosh, look how pretty that is. Get this Home Depot bucket out of the bag. Look how pretty that is. I love the garden in the morning because the sun is hitting everything and it's so pretty. Even with even with everything covered in bugs, it's so pretty. Our amaranth, look at that. I love these things. I think they're so cool. I love the color and the texture and everything. Let me see if I can get in there. So this is taller than my head, so I can't even see this. They're just really pretty. And then in this bed over here, we've been getting a lot of these golden cherry tomatoes. Golden nugget is what the tag says. So they turn this really pretty orange color. We've been getting a lot of those, which has been really nice. None of our tomatoes look very good, but it's okay. They all went in super late, and so we're happy to just have gotten anything. The squash of all varieties is covered in aphids here. I'll go in so you can really see that. It's pretty bad. And this is with me trimming a bunch of it. They're just, you see that? They're everywhere. All of the squash plants look like this. And some of the other plants too, which is really sad and discouraging, but I'm trying to do the best we can and also just, you know, not get too discouraged about it. And then over there is a honey nut. There's actually one honey nut on it, so we'll get one this year, which is really exciting. These peppers, they're a pretty good size. They have some sun scald on them, but they're getting to be a pretty good size. Here's the ditch that Andrew is digging for the irrigation. We got more tomatoes over here. And eggplant flowers. I just think they're really pretty. And more things over here. So I just found out like last week that this tomatillo is not going to produce any fruit because we didn't know that you have to have 2 of them and we only have 1. And so we got a ton of flowers, which we're really excited about, but it's not going to do anything. So that's there. It's pretty. The marigolds are all doing really well. These beans are making a comeback. I trimmed a lot of these off just because these leaves actually looked worse than this yesterday, so I trimmed a lot of those off yesterday. But these plants are also starting to have more green leaves and new leaves coming out, so that's really nice. I am obsessed with this. Look how pretty that is. I love it. And bees have been loving it too, which is great. And then over here in this bed, let me see if I can do this without getting my shadow. We got our marigolds. We got our eggplants. These things are also, these noodle beans are also covered in aphids. So you can see there, that's real gross, but they're completely covered. The peppers here are starting to get really big and some of them are changing color, which is really exciting. I have a bunch of eggplants in there. And then here is a pumpkin, which I'm very excited about. Oh, let's see if I can get this bee. Without getting, you see him in there. We have another pumpkin on this one too. It's like right behind the bee back there, which is really exciting. These are Black Beauty, I think, tomatoes. They're supposed to be way bigger than that. All of our tomatoes have just struggled this year, which is okay. It's a first year in a new garden and we're still building it out and all of that kind of stuff, and everything went in about 3 months too late, so we're doing the best we can, and we are getting some stuff, which is great. We've gotten a lot of zucchini. Peppers coming in. And I have more sakis there. I think those are really pretty. I think this is the row of jalapenos, or maybe those are jalapenos. I gotta look at the tags, but they're coming in, and yeah. And you can see here, I've pruned a lot off of this zucchini plant, and so I'm trying to keep it alive as long as possible to just get more fruit on it. But we've had enough zucchini at this point where I feel good about it. Just look how pretty that is. And then there's one more thing I want to show you, which is the grapes. All of the fruit trees are starting to look better. We've been trying to water them more and more, and they're starting to make comebacks, so that's great. This grape plant has been crazy, and we've gotten so many grapes out of here. We can't eat them all when they're all in here. It's still covered, and they're just getting better. They're really good, which is crazy. And to think, we didn't think this thing would produce when we first moved here, and so we were going to tear it out. But this thing is amazing. I don't even know if you can see all the grapes in here. Let's see, look at that. It's So yeah, and there's more down there.